Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to here to Unity of New Westminster. Please stand and join in singing in our opening song, Morning Has Broken. Morning has broken like the first morning. Blackbird has spoken like the first bird. Praise for the singing, praise for the morning, praise for them springing fresh from the womb. Sweet the rain's new fall, sunlit from heaven, like the first dew fall on the first grass. Praise for the sweetness of the wet garden, sprung in completeness where his feet pass. Mine is the sunlight, mine is the morning, born of the one light, Eden saw play. Praise with elation, praise every morning, God's recreation of the new day. Broken like the first morning. Blackbird has spoken like the first bird. Praise for the singing, praise for the morning, praise for them springing fresh from the womb.
Carl Katz, everyone. It's so nice to have you back. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to Unity of New Westminster. It is so wonderful to see you all. It is wonderful to be back. I guess the praise thing didn't agree with that. Or maybe I just, moved. There we go. It might be easier just to admit defeat on that one today. No, we're not going to admit defeat. That never happened. Good morning, everyone. I am Reverend Rhona Segarra, and it is truly a privilege and a pleasure to be here and to be the minister of this amazing community of love and connection and laughter and support. I've been away for 2 weeks, and it feels like I've been away for a month, maybe even longer. It feels like it's been a long time, so I'm so happy to be back here, seeing all of your faces. And it's like receiving a warm hug from up here. I wish that each one of you can experience what it's like to be here looking out at all of you. It just touches my heart. Pardon, Kim? I didn't hear any of that, which is, that's good. Yes, probably, yes. Why are we here? Well, the Unity movement, and here, especially at Unity of New Westminster, we offer ideas for full and abundant living. We draw on the teachings of Jesus, who we consider our primary way shower and example, and we honor that there is wisdom to be found in faith traditions all over the planet, that every person has a different understanding and comes with a different viewpoint. And we honor every person's right to choose their own spiritual path. We recognize that there is wisdom to be found, enduring wisdom, to be found in music and in books and in movies and in poetry and in prose and in our life experiences. And so we are open to finding inspiration everywhere. Our ideas are to create a place in our lives which is calm, connected, and contented. All are welcome here. All are worthy here. All are celebrated here. And whether you are here for the first time, and welcome, and I hope you enjoy your experience if that is who you are. And if you are a person who has been to our community before and is returning, warm welcome to you as well. And to all of the people who are joining us online and either now live or sometime in the future, a warm welcome to you too from all of us here in New Westminster, British Columbia. Come and visit us. If you ever come into the Vancouver area, we'd love to see you. Shall we open our service in a time of prayer? We begin by acknowledging with gratitude that we are on the traditional and ancestral territory of the Kakite First Nation. And we give thanks for First Nations and Indigenous peoples everywhere, for their connection and love for this land. We give thanks that we are able to join together in person and through the wonders of technology to connect to one another. To be reminded that there is one power, that power that some people call God, others call Allah, Yahweh, the force, nature, creator, the universe. By whatever our understanding may be for the creative energy in which we live and breathe and have our being, we embrace the idea that it is one power, that there is no spot that God is not, and that we then, each one of us, are part of that power, connected in that power, and interconnected to each other. We are all one. We are one. And from this awareness of our connection to each other, we extend a blessing, an intention, a prayer, that every person knows that they matter, that every person feels connected, feels loved. We send a blessing for healing, for peace, for contentment, knowing that in the power that is one, our energy makes a difference. And we uplift, we intend, we bless. And for this power, we are so grateful. Amen. And I'm going to ask Sharon to come and read the daily word for us today.
Hello. Oh, great. Good to see all your smiling faces here, and so great to have Carl with us and Rhona back. So super. I'm going to read the daily word, and the daily word is prosperity today. Excuse me. I focus on the goodness of God and know prosperity. Sometimes I may worry, wondering if I have enough of what I need. If thoughts of lack or limitation arise, I lift my thoughts from the things of the world to the truth of God. I focus my mind on the richness of divine life within me. I feel calm and assured as I remember I live in an abundant universe and am heir to everything God is. Even when my worldly fortunes shift, I am abundant in spirit. As I align my thinking with divine mind in prayer, I become receptive to divine ideas that prosper me. I claim prosperity and feel empowered as I do. My prosperity stems from my oneness with God. I count my blessings, feel grateful, and trust with understanding faith I have enough. This daily word is inspired by Psalm 37, verse 8. They feast on the abundance of your house, and you give them drink from the river of your delights.
Thank you, Sharon.
And now let's all enjoy Imagine by John Lennon. Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us, above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for, and no derision too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. Oh, oh, oh. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will be as one. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. A brotherhood of man. imagine all the people sharing all the world. Yeah. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. Hope someday you'll join us, and the world will be as one.
As we prepare ourselves to hear today's message, I invite you to move into a time of meditation with me. If it's comfortable for you, close your eyes. If it feels more secure to keep your eyes open, then that's wonderful too. Just allow your gaze to rest gently. And to become aware of your breath. Notice how you breathe in and out, seemingly without effort. This gift of life that we take for granted so often. Take a moment and give thanks for that breath of life that breathes you in and out. And with every breath, allow your body to feel a little heavier. Allow your muscles to relax. Feel the support of the chair or the bed or the floor, whatever you are being supported by. And feel your body becoming heavier. You are supported. Rest. Notice that your mind will drift. Thank your mind. And then sink beneath it. Those thoughts will be there when you return. And allow your attention to gently drop into your heart space. Into your chest. If you find that your mind wanders, notice, and then just return. Think of a time when you felt a sense of overwhelming love. It may be the first time that you held a newborn baby. Perhaps a puppy or a kitten or a teddy bear. Perhaps it was when somebody gave you a hug and it just felt perfect. We sometimes have that experience of love and awe when we look at a sunset or a sunrise. Take a moment now. Recall that experience and connect with the feeling. You may find that you are smiling at the memory. Hold that feeling and place it gently somewhere in your body. Your heart, your throat. And as you place it in that place in your body, you might find it helpful to touch your heart, your throat. This place, this memory, is your seat of peace. It is a place you are able to return to at any time that you are feeling off-center. Return to it often. Even when things are going well. It will become easier to reach when things are not. And in this place of peace, your mind will calm. Your heart will calm. And you will find that you are able to respond more wisely. As we move into a time of silence, make yourself at home with that place, with that feeling. And enjoy the experience of love that memory brings you. Feel it now.
This is for all the lonely people, thinking that life has passed them by. Don't give up until you drink from the silver cup, ride that highway in the sky. This is for all the single people, that has left them dry. Don't give up until you drink from the silver cup. Never know until you try. Well, I'm on my way. Yes, I'm back to stay. Yes, I'm on my way back home. Them by. Don't give up until you drink from the silver cup. She'll never take you down, never give you up. Never know until you try. Thank you.
Thank you, Carl. Have you ever been in a situation where you can see that if things keep going the way they are going, there's going to be a bit of a decline in the experience? Have you ever wondered what to do when you can see that things are going to go off track and you wonder if it's your place to do something? Have you ever been in that place where you know you could do something and you're like, oh, not sure if I should? Or maybe you've seen someone else about to go off track. Not a situation, but a person who looks like they're heading down a path that isn't great, and you wonder what to do. Or the other way around, where you see someone who's doing less than they're capable of, and you just know that there is more that they have to offer than what they're showing to the world. This is especially true if you're a parent. Everyone can identify with seeing their child underperforming at times and wishing they could do something to get through to their child. Or maybe you've been that child. Maybe you've been an adult and someone has said, you could do more than you're doing. Or they've come to you for help. And what have you done in response? Well, if you've experienced any of these, and of course you have because you have a heartbeat, then the story of Jesus' first miracle actually has some insight for us. Most of us think of the story of the miracle of turning water into wine, which Jesus did at a wedding celebration in Cana. Most of us think of it simply as a story about Jesus' first miracle. And it's a lovely story. And I think it has some insight for us in how we step up when we see something is going sideways, and how we step in to take corrective action. And then also how we step away when it's no longer our responsibility, when we've done our part. The story is told in the Gospel of John in chapter 2, and it happens early in Jesus' ministry. In fact, really, we don't hear about Jesus other than his birth, and then we hear about him at presumably an early adolescent age where his parents can't find him, and they find him in the temple with all of the priests chit-chatting around. But that's all when he's little. And then we don't hear from him or about him until he's aged 30. And this is the story that we hear. On the third day, there was a wedding in Cana of Galilee, and the mother of Jesus was there. Jesus and his disciples had also been invited to the wedding. When the wine gave out, the mother of Jesus said to him, "They have no wine." And Jesus said to her, "Woman, what concern is that to you and to me? My hour has not yet come." His mother said to the servants, "Do whatever he tells you." Now standing there were 6 stone water jars for the Jewish rites of purification, each holding 20 or 30 gallons. Jesus said to the servants, "Fill the jars with water." And they filled them up to the brim. He said to them, "Now draw some out and take it to the chief steward." So they took it. When the steward tasted the water that had become wine and did not know where it came, when the steward tasted the water that had become wine, he did not know where it had come from, though the servants who drew the water knew. The steward called the bridegroom and said to him, "Everyone serves the good wine first and then the inferior wine after the guests have become drunk. But you have kept the good wine until now." Jesus did this, the first of his signs in Cana, and revealed his glory, and his disciples believed in him. And then he went down to Capernaum with his mother, his brothers, and his disciples, and they remained there a few days. It's kind of a cute story, really. We have a big party going on. Mary, in my imagination, Mary is one of the people helping to make things happen at the wedding. It's a community wedding. Everybody is invited. And she notices that the wine is running out. So she does what she knows could make a difference. She goes to Jesus and she says, the wine's running out. And Jesus, just like every other kid, first response is, what are you telling me for? And then you could see, again, my imagination, I can see him thinking, I probably could do something about this, but no, my time has not yet come. Such a powerful word, my time has not yet come. And then Mary goes away, Jesus goes and does his thing, and the party gets juiced up again. And we see these two characters, Mary, who steps in to do something, and Jesus, who steps up to make it happen. So I want to look at these two characters and how they behaved with an idea to understanding what we can do when we want to step in, when we care enough to want the very best, and the way to do it would be to step in. And then I want to take a second part, and that is to look at what our response is when someone comes to us and says, I think you could help make the party bigger. The party of life, the party of whatever experience it might be. And how do we step up? First, let's look at Mary and what we can learn from her about stepping into a situation. Consider what you're most likely to do when you see things going downhill. The things that don't work include deciding that the correction is not worth the effort and leaving things as they are and allowing the situation to unfold. In effect, we're saying sometimes the juice is not worth the squeeze. I love that expression. I just heard it, so I have to share it. And I'm finding it everywhere now. Sometimes the juice is just not worth the squeeze. And that's a very fair and intelligent response when that is the truth. So it's none of these are necessarily wrong. They're just going through a discernment process. Sometimes, is this worth stepping in? Maybe not. Sometimes we decide that the situation is outside of our sphere of influence, that there is nothing that is within our power to do anything about it, in which case the most intelligent thing to do is to relax and enjoy it as much as we can anyway. Make the best of a situation that might be less than ideal. Or we can start to see the situation devolve, and we can panic. We can start to become infected by the fact that this is going to happen, or affected by the fact that things are not ideal. And we can actually help to accelerate the fizzing out of whatever it is. We become part of the problem. Or we lose our composure and just make everything worse with that. We can also name, blame, and shame. Name. Who's responsible? Who should have done that? Who was responsible for ordering and they didn't order enough wine? Or they're incompetent, they're thoughtless, they're cheap. Sentences that begin with why or who are clues that we're not going to add to the situation in a positive way. Neither will the word should. They should have done this. How come they didn't do that? If you find yourself using those words, notice and ask yourself whether they're actually going to help anything. It's true that maybe somebody should have ordered more wine. Maybe it's true that they are budget conscious. Maybe it's true that there were things that could have been done that weren't done. But in the heat of the moment, that's trying to, what's the saying? Closing the barn door after the cattle have left. It's too late to worry about that stuff. The only intelligent thing to do is to assess whether or not there's something we can do about this, and then act on it. And that is what we see in Mary's behavior. We learn 3 things from her example. The first is that assessment process. Mary notices that the wine has run out. That means that the juice that's liquefying the party, that sounds terrible, but the spiciness, the fun, the enjoyment is going to be affected in some way. And if you don't like the word wine, that's okay. Add some other flavored beverage to your picture. It's to do with the idea that the spiciness, the flavor is about to run out. And she assesses and realizes that she knows someone who might be able to do something about it. So she goes to Jesus. Rather than accept that less than desirable status quo, she assesses and then takes action. Then she approaches Jesus. There's no guilting in how she does it. There's no manipulation. It doesn't even say that she says, "Can you do something about this?" All she does is bring it to Jesus' attention. And then she paves the way for success. She goes to the servants without waiting to hear whether Jesus, in fact, Jesus basically said, "No, don't bug me." But it didn't stop her from paving the way for success anyway. She goes to the servants and she says, "Do what he tells you." And then, and perhaps most powerfully of all, she walks away. There is no insisting, no nagging, no waiting to see what he will do. She assesses, she approaches, she paves the way, and then she accepts that she's done everything she can, and she steps away. So there's this step in, bringing to attention, doing what she can to ease the situation, paving the way for success, and then stepping away. Step in, step away. And what do we see in that for us? I'm a mom. I'm a mom, man. So, and a wife. So my husband will tell you that if I see something that I want to be the very best, my tendency is not to be like Mary. It is to, sure, assess, there's something that could be done here, approach, here's what I'd like to see, or here's the situation, but this is where Mary and I go different ways, because I'm not as wise as her. And so then I'm like, so is it done? Are you going to do it? Have you made a decision? Can you let me know? How's it going? At that point, it's not of my business. Diane's laughing over there. Knowing when to step away, where I end and the other person begins, is what we can learn from the wisdom of Mary here. Step in, make the awareness request, step away. What about Jesus? What can we learn from him? I'll consider, how do you respond when someone comes up to you and says, there's this problem? Don't we do exactly what Jesus did? Like, first thing we'll say is, not my problem, their problem, they should have ordered more wine, all those things. And we see Jesus do that at first. And that's also a clue for us, because he didn't stay there. He realized and gave time to think about and consider the request, and then he took action. We may say, when somebody comes to us with an opportunity for us, we may say things like, it's not my problem. Or we may say, let them fail. It's, they made their bed, let them lie in it. We may say, when someone comes to us, like, why did Mary go to Jesus in the first place? Because she knew he could do something. There was a part of him that wasn't ready to step into his greatness. We had not heard about Jesus. He hadn't moved into his mission until his mom came along and said, here's a problem. And his first response after, don't come to me with this, was, I'm not ready. But there was a part of him that needed his mom to call him up, to step up. Because he was ready. He just didn't know it. But the wisdom of Mary did. You may feel that same resistance when someone comes to you. The first resistance, not my problem, why are you wasting my time? Second resistance, you're asking me to do something that I'm not comfortable doing. Before we really look at the steps that Jesus took, think of the consequences of not stepping up. Sometimes we'll never know what we missed. Sometimes we care enough to want the very best so much that we wait until the circumstances are perfect. We've done another class. The stars are all in a line, and now I'm going to write my book or go back to school or whatever it might be that we long to do. Just like Jesus, my time has not yet come. What would have happened, I wonder? How long would we have waited for Jesus to begin his ministry if Mary hadn't tapped him on the shoulder and said, here's an opportunity for you? I wonder then how much greatness has gone undiscovered and unrevealed in each of us because of our reluctance to step up until the circumstances are perfect. So what can we do when the Mary in us says it's time, or a parent or a friend or a spouse says it's time, or circumstances say it's time? What do we see in Jesus' example? First, we see healthy relationship. He's actually open to listening to her. So be open. If someone says, you can do it, maybe we could consider being open and taking them at their word. Give it a shot. The second thing that we see in Jesus is his discomfort. Expect to be uncomfortable when you're stepping into something that is great. Whether there's a part of you who knows, whether there's a part of you which knows that you are ready to step into it or not. It's going to be uncomfortable. Do it anyway. And then we see that when Jesus does decide to step in, oh my goodness, he steps in with confidence. He steps in decisively. There is a commitment. Now I know what I'm going to do. Step up and do it. And then, and this is one of the nicest parts of the story for me, is he steps away. He lets the bridegroom get the credit for creating the wine. Now, I don't know about you, but if it were me, and I had just saved a party by creating the best wine after the wine had run out and there was just going to be water, and now there's this juicy, top-notch, top-quality wine, I'd want everyone to know it was me who did that. And what did Jesus do? Stepped away. He did not claim the credit. There is power in humility. Because you know what? The story will get out if it's meant to get out. That's a challenging trait to copy. So Jesus' example, to step up, be open, expect to be uncomfortable, act decisively, and then step away. these two characters really help me to understand how I can lean into the idea of how to step up and how to step in when I want something to be the very best. When I want to add juice and flavor to life, when I want to add to the party of life, then I can act like Mary when I see something is going sideways, and I can step in, assess whether or not there's something I can do. Approach the person who can make the change, and then step away. When I care enough to want the very best, and I'm hearing a message about how I can step up, I'll try to be aware and be open, to expect the discomfort and not be afraid of it, to act decisively, and then to step away. When you care enough to want the very best, step in, act, step away. Step up, act, step away. You will add flavor to life, and that is your gift. I bless you.
On my own, how could I have known? Imagine my surprise. Just a fool from a tree full of fools who can't believe his eyes. Imagine my surprise. I was a mean old man, I was an ornery cuss, I was a dismal man, I made an awful fuss. Ever since my life began, man, it was ever thus. I was a nasty type who was hard to like. I had to misbehave, I did things in reverse, refused to wash or shave. I was horrid to my nurse, I got back what I gave, which only made me worse. I had to have my way, which was bleak and gray, oh dear. Living in here, 100 years of rain, such a drag. This riches to rags, with just myself to blame, a dirty low down shame. Silly me, silly old me, somewhere outside my mind. Clever you, walking me through, willing to lead the blind just in the nick of time. Who gets a second chance? Who gets to have some fun? Who gets to learn to dance before his race is run? Who gets to shed his skin? Who comes up born again? Who was a mean old man till you turned him into a golden retriever puppy dog? Who was a mean old man?
Thank you again, Carl. It's so good to have him. I love your riffs too. Okay, I'm going to do the announcements, and there'll probably be some slides up there. I'm going to not take a look. Anyway, I'm Sharon. I'm just very happy to do the announcements and platform for you today. Tomorrow, Monday, meditation from 10:30 to 11:15 here and online, I believe. Am I right? Yeah. So we check in with each other, we enjoy a guided meditation, and we read the names of the people on our prayer list. And I get the prayer list. I don't usually attend this, but I go through and you can still honor all those people that are on the prayer list by asking to have those sent to you. To add a person on a prayer list, please fill the prayer request slip found in your welcome packet or and whatever you have here, and put their first name and initial on it, and place it in the offering basket. You can also send us an email, submit a prayer request on our website or app, or if you see over here, there's a prayer chest that was handmade by one of our former members. So we leave them names for 2 months, unless requested for longer. And at the end of that time, the whole list is sent to Silent Unity and included in Unity's 24-hour-day, 7-day-a-week prayer vigil and phone line at Unity Village near Kansas City, Missouri. And you can call them, actually. I've known that. And so, Wisdom Wednesdays. So if you enjoyed this Rhona's talk and would like to talk a little bit more about that or something else, join us for Zoom Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. And so there'll be a Zoom meeting here, and probably you've got something for that. We explore and share ideas in a safe and confidential space. The link is on the website. And if you don't have a website or computer, I'm sure you can ask somebody. A replay of the talk can also be found on our website and on our app. So you can watch it after the fact, and enjoy it at another time if you're not able to come. Okay, and we're grateful for all your gifts, which support our ministry, and many of us contribute on pre-authorized payments, such as e-transfers and such. I believe PayPal as well. And if you're not placing anything in the contribution basket today, feel free to bless it silently. And to our online viewers, you'll find the donation link in the description of the recording. And please like and subscribe to our channel so we can reach more people. As we sing our blessing song, please bring to mind something you are grateful for. We are so blessed.
I am so blessed I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
I look out at all of you and I am so aware of how blessed I am. We are so blessed. Blessed to have beautiful musicians, to have people who support us with audio-visual and making coffee and greeting people and platform hosts, and each one of you who are here blesses us. We are indeed so blessed. Please mark your calendars for 2 weeks from today, which is the Sunday closest to the solstice. We are planning to consecrate the Medicine Wheel Labyrinth on that day. And so Lyle will be the person who will educate us on what the Medicine Wheel Labyrinth is and how to walk it and how to find peace and insight within it. So please keep that in mind for 2 weeks from today. And shall we move into a circle if we are able? For those who, for whom mobility is an issue, please feel comfortable just staying right where you are. We always have this push-pull because many people love to be in a circle, and at the same time, it's not always easy for everyone to move. So let's move into a circle, and we will surround those who prefer to be seated as part of our circle anyway. They'll be our hub. How about that? As we sing our peace song and our prayer for protection song. Thank you all for being here. Please plan to stay for coffee. And over to Mr. Carl Katz.
Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every breath I take, may this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth and let it begin. I am the light of God, I am the love of God, I am the power of God, I am the presence of God, wherever I am, God is. I presence of God wherever you are. God is. You are the light of God. You are the love of God. You are the power of God. You are the presence of God wherever you are. God. We are the light of God. We are the love of God. We are the power of God. We are the presence of God wherever we are. God is and always
Hi, thank you.